Oh my god! It's a Twin Blades variant. There's a Maelstrom on the backside. Phantom's picking up more kills, finds Andrew as well as a triple. Oh, look at Tahaka. Finds the Abathur top lane 6. Great Ring of Frost connecting onto 4 members. We might have a comeback for the ages. You hate to see it. You hate to see it. Will they be able to escape? ETC does fall. What a counter attack by ReGen Red, and he's gonna barely get away with his friggin' teleport ability. Holy shit! That was really spicy. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Murda, you know me, and over here it's Rag. What's going on, Rag?
Fam? Good.
I tried getting your green screen right. Now I feel like it's like making it shiny on your forehead, especially when you're leaning forward. I feel horrible.
It's all right. There are worse things in life. The lighting is fine, dude. Don't even worry about it. Want to give the crowd my pretty face?
Nonetheless, we're here with a really fun evening. We got some cool stuff in store. We're doing the ReGen Invitational 3 tonight.
I'm actually looking at how it looks, and it's actually pretty bad, but it's okay. I mean, that's kind of how I feel. That's like the toxicity spewing from my forehead, so it's not too inaccurate.
No, it's gonna be ReGen Blue versus ReGen Red, 2 teams that had a team in Season 5 of NGS. New rosters, though, both of them. Heading into Season 6, we're going to get a good look at them here today. Captains returning from both teams, Repsychic from Red, Mongoose from Blue. They're ready to go. Rag, what's your take on some of these new rosters, maybe, that you've seen so far?
I mean, I'm super pumped to see both of the rosters perform tonight. I'm especially excited to see Zulkin, once a member of ReGen Past, the first iteration about a year and a half or 2 years ago, now on ReGen Red. He's a great shot caller, a great player. Don't tell him I said that. And so I'm looking to see how he helps ReGen Red kind of perform. Mongoose and his team, a lot of old blood there as well. Jason has joined the ranks as well, so I'm really excited to see him perform.
Yep.
So no, it'll be exciting. Curious to see how the teams will draft. The meta is a little crazy at the moment. There have been changes today too. Ana, Abathur, and Rhaegar in particular. So we'll see if the teams decide to pick those heroes today.
So we're gonna go ahead and say those heroes, Abathur and Ana, are gonna be allowed today. I don't see why not.
Yeah, I don't either. I'd actually be pumped to see them, although there are some folks that would say that Ana is still not good. We'll see. I haven't played her yet, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'd love to see her get played.
So obviously we don't know where these teams are going to be placed in Season 6 yet, but we do know that one team is an East Coast team, ReGen Red. The other is a West Coast team, ReGen Blue. So pretty safe to assume they'll probably not be in the same division because they'll be split on a different coast, but maybe within the same lettering. We're not sure yet. Kind of stoked to see, but I think these teams are pretty evenly matched heading into it. It should be a good scrim at a minimum here.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm actually excited that we were able to find a time that worked for both. I know ReGen Red, at least one player in particular, doesn't really believe in regular sleep times. Found grinding what's left of the ladder until the wee hours of the morning. But yeah, I'm super stoked that we were able to get that. It looks like we're waiting for one more player on ReGen Blue, who will be our team on the left. And ReGen Red will be the team on the right. And Murda did set it up so that blue is blue and red is red.
I think we're just waiting on Krenavast right now.
Okay.
He's the only player not in here that I can tell should be. Unless if they're bringing in Grendel, maybe? No, Grendel's here. Who else is in that lobby there?
Let's see. Who are we missing? It looks like everyone's there. I wonder why they're just not in the game.
No, it's Grendel. Yeah, it's Grendel or Krina. One of them's coming. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. They'll make it. Thor in chat Yep, never got to play Ana. Even with the rework, I probably still won't get to play her. I still do think that even with the changes from today, I think she suffers from the same problems, right? She doesn't have burst denial. He's patching.
Well, wait. I have Horus now. I got to play with Repsychic earlier today. And you have potential to, with it having baseline Pierce, to hit 9 heroes at a time with each shot.
I mean, you can hit 9 heroes, but hitting a Q on an enemy won't actually do anything, right?
No, I have Horus.
I have Horus. I see with the Pierce. But that also means you take I have Horus, which means you should probably be slapped.
Well, I think you should look at it before you say anything, because it's pretty dirty. Rek had a couple fights, a couple choke spots, like on Spiders, I think we were playing. A few good chokes there. And the other one, what did we play? I can't remember. Maybe it was like Infernal Shrines we were playing.
Interesting. Goku in chat saying that Ana is extremely strong early and late game. I think that's really hit or miss. It depends on the Ana player, right? If you don't hit any skill shots, which is completely possible, then you're just not going to get value out of her. I hit all of them. I've never missed a single one. Quote me on that. So I obviously will get value, but other folks might not.
Well, Reg, our teams are ready. I don't know who can hit the ready go button, but go ahead.
I mean, it's not me. It looks like who's hosting?
I don't know. Who's our host here? Host go. Hit go. Reg.
Rip. I mean, I can also host it. There we go. Okay. We did it. We did it.
Oh, I didn't add you to this scene. No. I forgot to add you on this one.
Oh my god.
Wait, how do I do this? Edit? Edit? Is this the editor? Okay, here we go. Hold on. I got this.
Okay, I can talk about the draft as you're doing this.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Cool. So for folks that are maybe new to the game, haven't played in a while, we are playing on Tomb of the Spider Queen, a map that is known for its rotations between mid and top with a 4-man with a solo laner typically in the bot lane. See a ban out on the Azmodan first, which makes perfect sense. He's generally run in the 4-man post his changes about 6 to 9 months ago, as he can stack very quickly. Mal'Ganis, Diablo are generally also very good bans, and those bans were pretty prevalent prior to the changes that went through regarding experience. But it looks like ReGen Red banning out that Maiev. Wow, my face is huge on your screen.
I fixed it. It's better now.
Nice. Oh, nice. I love the dynamic cropping. Thank you, Murda. Carve shouting out his wife there. Mal'Ganis being the next ban, so again, not surprising. I expected Diablo here. I don't think supports really take priority in this current meta, but we'll see what Red decides to ban out. There is the Diablo.
Ooh, big Red gone. All right.
Raising my glass of whiskey here to these teams as we see Jason snap locking in that kill Thas. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, Jason likes playing his mages. You know he plays his Jaina and his Li Ming. We're going to get to see Kael'thas early, but Tomb of the Spider Queen? Okay, alright. I feel like maybe like go ahead and pick up some other more all-around heroes. Your tank maybe settle into a powerful support. Taking the Kael'thas, they're going to show their damage, and it's going to leave open this Johanna Orphea as a counter.
I mean, I love the fact that both teams are focusing early on wave clear. Oftentimes, you do see teams just not really take that, and they kind of get shafted. So Kael'thas, excellent wave clear from the get-go. Orphea does a pretty good amount herself, especially with her Dread talent, and Johanna, of course, being an excellent tank that just pushes in that front line, uses that shield, and can just hold that damage. Stitches and Stukov are the next picks. I do like the Kael'thas and the Stitches there as a combination. We do see a CC chain starting to get built on their side. Stukov is a great complement on this particular map. Going the Lurking Arm talent at 7 can really help you zone people off in the tight corridors, and especially with the Webweaver push.
Yeah, absolutely. I like the Johanna Orphea pairing because the way Johanna can stack up the minions in these rotations and Orphea can be used just to clear them out quickly, I think will provide very quick clears and rotations for ReGen Red. I'm maybe a little worried here for ReGen Blue figuring out what they want to do with these final 2 picks has shown so much, but at the same time, I like what they already have, so I'm not too upset with it because I think both teams are going for the same strategy, like you said.
I agree, and that Deckard is definitely a target ban. It sounds like ReGen Blue got the memo that the support player on red can only play Deckard. So we'll see what they decide. Tyrande is still up. We do see the Phoenix taken, and Whitemane is actually taken here. I think into a Stitches, that's a bit tough. You have to be really careful about your positioning, as that Stitches hook, in addition to all the other CC on that side, like when I play Stitches or Stukov, I'm looking for when that Whitemane has her W out, right? Because that's something I want to silence, because that reduces the healing and the CC. So interesting pick there. I do like it. It can work. You just need to be very careful about how you use your abilities. Sylvanas.
Oh, I like this.
Okay.
I love new Sylvrag. Every time I get to play her now, I'm stoked. I've seen it played in Division S. I've seen it played in Heroes Hype Amateur Series. I think it's pretty good now. I like it. It has a lot more burst. I've been calling it the shotgun build because she will just shotgun away your entire health bar at once, and you don't see it coming.
That makes perfect sense. My only worry from the side of blue is that puts a Nubarak. Grendel will be in the solo lane against a Leoric. So I think Leoric will win that matchup, as his autos have the wave clear along with the Q. So that lane might be a little difficult. Hopefully blue will notice that or help out if they need to. But I agree. I think Sylvanas in the 4-man is particularly good, especially on this map, right? Disabling those towers, comboing with that Stukov. So I like both drafts. I think they're well thought out. I really just think it's going to come down to the execution on this one, Murda.
Yeah, okay. Oh, I can't disagree. I'm kind of excited to see what they want to do with Grendel on this Nubarak. Obviously, to me, it looks like they want to use it in the solo lane. Do they want to just make some sort of beetle build? And then you got the pushing power of Sylvanas and the pushing power of an Nubarak with extra beetles. It's pretty good. We'll see what they can make of it.
I'm looking forward to it, as it looks like our players are ready to get in. No potatoes here. Arrow, hello. There we go.
No potatoes here. Alright, let me introduce these guys on the left-hand side. They're coming in the blue trunks today, and up front it's the captain. It's Mongoose playing Stitches. Grendel on a Nubarak. Larson playing that Sylvanas. On Kael'thas, you know him as Jason, and back at base still, and his invisible mount is Astil on Stukov. They are ReGen Blue.
And on the right-hand side, we have ReGen Red with Recycling, the team captain, playing that Whitemane Arrow on Johanna, Carve playing our Phoenix, and Tarius playing the Orphea and Zulkin in that bot lane on the Leoric.
Alright, so I didn't realize Zulkin's doing solo lane dude. That's kind of exciting.
He is on the solo lane, so that very interesting. We'll see how the shot calling goes for the 4-man, but again, this is a map of rotations, and with the new experience changes, teams need to be wary of the mid and top soak.
Alright, so it looks like Sylvanas is going for that unfurling shadow, so that's the one where you gotta get your dagger on the heroes as they're taking some of your stacks, and then late game, scaling wise, that's really what can do a lot of damage to some of these heroes.
Absolutely, and as we look at this first sort of rotation, ReGen Red is ahead. They did beat out Blue in that rotation. Once again, Johanna providing good wave clear, Carve on that Phoenix, being able to take down those waves super fast, but they do have to be a little bit careful here from a positioning perspective. Thankfully, our Kael'thas did not go Convection as one. Bless you, not raging in the first minute of the game.
Well, no convection, but plenty of time to maybe see Pyroblast. You never know.
That would be surprising to me. I'm gonna guess here that Whitemane will most likely go the Divine Aegis at 10, which will help deny that, as we see Arrow pushing in just a little bit, but there is some damage and a silence going out onto him. The Unstoppable stopping Mongoose's hook just in the nick of time will allow Johanna to escape.
Yeah, I want to see Arrow line up better here with Antarius and this Orphea damage coming out. Just run in there, get that team down, stack them up, and then the Orphea clear. And right there you see perfect execution, but we'll see if they can execute that same thing in the midst of a little skirmish here with the blue team.
we do see Zulkin in that bot lane turning in those 3 gems that he has. Big meme that exists since the old days of ReGen, turn these gems on this particular map. We see Arrow getting taken down to about half health in that mid lane as well as teams continue to fight back and forth, but overall the experience is the same.
I love what Arrow has done so far with that shield glare too, playing this Johanna, being able to keep these points safe. Only 4 gems turned in thus far for ReGen Blue, and ReGen Red's already gotten 25 in, leading the way so far in collection as well, slightly ahead of their counterparts in ReGen Blue on the other side.
Yeah, I do think that the rotations also have evened out just a little bit. Kel'Thas is focusing a lot on getting that mana addict. Almost 3 minutes in and has the quest about half complete. Antarius is pulled in by the Stitches, but there is peel by Arrow being there, popping that on top of what the last minute, and getting the team out alive.
Yeah, a slight step behind Jason was of Mongoose there with the hook and the follow-up grab relapse. But you can see the thought pattern, what they wanted to do. It just didn't quite execute the way they had wanted to. So they didn't end up getting a kill. We're still sitting 0-0. No kills in this one. And still waiting to get gems turned in. Mongoose looking to get 5 right now, and he will, as no one from ReGen Red was able to walk over and interrupt that one.
Yeah, and I think that both of these comps are a bit mid to late game. They don't have a ton of kill pressure, at least in the early game. So they will just need to wait a little bit for their talent tiers. I think once level 7 hits, we will see the Stukov be a little bit more annoying in terms of that silence. If we take a quick gander down into the bot lane, we do see that the matchup is, as we kind of expected, in favor of Zulkin, avoiding those skill shots and just kind of winning in terms of mana, as we see ReGen Red turning their gems in that bot. Will they get the turn in?
They're trying. Zulkin's got 10. It's still not enough. Needs 6 more. Fight breaking out. Arrow in trouble. Pops Iron Skin. Has to walk back now. Recyclic his support also back by this wall. And with the split up here, it looks like teams are going to reset. And no more action here.
Yeah, it looks like both teams also do have turn-in, so they need to be aware of that top and bot turn-in point. It looks like Blue is trying to go for it, just needing 12 gems. Mongoose's turn isn't going to be enough, but there is a small little body block there as Johanna gets pushed out and does deny the turn-in with that shield glare.
3 more being turned in down bottom by Leoric, means only 3 more now for ReGen Red to finish off this turn in. Arrow holding the only gems they have, and he's very low. Sylvanas looking for the win there, but not going to get it. Iron Skin used just for the shield by Arrow, and he will survive. Now more gems being turned in. Jason with 5, and that'll do it. Blue Web Weavers descending down the lane.
Nice. So ReGen Blue just getting those Web Weavers barely ahead of ReGen Red in this case. I do think that a bit more goaltending could have been done there by Red. We do have a White Mane and a Phoenix that have a lot of poke, and an Orphea for that matter, so would have liked to see a bit more goaltending there, but let's see how, with the Stukov and a Sylvanas, ReGen Blue does with this push, as it looks like they are focusing on the top lane.
Yeah, looks like Sylvanas wants to be here. Stitches making the rotation as well. Webweaver on the wall. This is a defense from ReGen Red. There's 4 here. Here comes Grendel. It's going to be 5 heroes from ReGen Blue in this top lane. No, Grendel's going to walk away now. But with the Webweaver still up and Sylvanas popping black arrows, they get through that wall and those 2 towers pretty quickly.
This is going to be a huge push, Murder. We do also see in that bot lane that Web Weavers are pushing for free, as Zulkin does almost clear that mid lane, but very rare to see on this map that the Web Weaver is pushing to the top. A huge silence by that Stukov in the backline, the Unstoppable saving Johanna, just barely the healing reduction, hitting that Johanna, but Recyclic keeping Arrow alive at the very last second, as we do see the first fort of the game going down in that top lane. Web Weaver in the bot lane pushing and getting the wall down, doing some damage as Grendel looks to push in that well.
Yeah, Zulkin's going to try to clear this. He should be able to get it and save this fort. But mid fort's another issue, because Sylvanas here with black arrows again, and ReGen Blue is looking to get down their second structure during that objective. But with Arrow showing up, Recyclic right behind, that's all they're going to get. And now we're looking back at the gem counts. ReGen Red still just 3 away from getting their first turn in with 53 gems on hand. They're going to try to find it down bottom. Larson has an eye on it. Should be able to interrupt this with ease. And here comes the rest of ReGen Blue.
I think Red there could have pushed in just a bit more. There is an engage here on that Orphea, taking so much damage from that Kel'Thas. as ReGen Red is forced to play a little bit backwards. Psychic healing the team up with those, with that Q, spread onto the team as Red is denied their turn-in.
Yeah, but look at that. Level 10's just now picked up. ReGen Blue locking them in. And with this little advantage is going to give them a little more time to find some gems that maybe get them their next turn-in. They got 25 on hand, 17 in the bank. They're not too far from being able to get that turn-in here, Reg.
Yeah, and Red just needs to be, there we go, I was just going to say, they need to try to pressure that top lane to try to get that turn-in, but Zulkin in that bot lane as the Leoric getting that turn-in. If we look at the ultimates, we do see a Planet Cracker actually taken by Phoenix over the Purification Salvo. Arrow pushing in just a little bit. Putrid Bile taken from that Stitches. Arrow a little far forward as we see that Purification Salvo blowing up person.
Hard.
It's getting absolutely crushed there.
Oh, here's that Pyroblast
Divine
I mentioned.
Aegis barely keeping that arrow alive. Oh my goodness, Murda.
Yeah, the Entomb got thrown down and Orphea tried to land her crushing jaws, but wasn't quite enough damage, but they ended up getting one anyway. But, I mean, outstanding Planet Cracker by Garb set up the play, and then it means this push that they're getting from this Web Weaver is going to be that much more substantial. Top wall's in trouble. It looks like bottom's been dealt with by a Nubrak, and mid's still pushing with Zulkin here playing his Leoric. Sylvanas the one trying to clear that up.
Excellent push indeed. It looks like for the most part, ReGen Red is equalizing the structures. They do not have a fort down just yet, and I don't think they're going to get it with this particular push, just based on the wave clear. Arrow pushing in just a little bit, getting silenced, but popping down Unstoppable just in the nick of time. Skill shots dodged left and right there, Murda.
Yeah, nice little sidestep by Johanna, dodging Stitch's hook. She's going to make it out with all her health that she had, or at least half of it. But here we go, both teams with enough return in, and it's still ReGen Red with the most gems, but it's Leoric down bottom in trouble. His team's got to come save him, and now it's Larson who's in trouble. Big turnaround, and Sylvanas dead before she could run away, and they're staying in here. Flesh Shield ripped out on Stitches, still trying to keep him in with the Condemned. Stukov the one with the sights locked on now, but able to walk away. ReGen Blue should survive this reg.
Excellent cleanse there by the Whitemane as well, getting the Leoric out from that gravity lapse, as he does have a ton of gems that were just turned in. ReGen Red does have another turn. Arrow trying to get those gems in, but Stukov being a giant annoyance with those silences as we look to see what the team does. All players are now up, and both sides have turn in. It looks like ReGen Blue is getting turn in bot lane for free once again. Goaltending not being there, and it looks like they will get the next turn in, Murda.
Yeah, all of ReGen Red, they wanted to stick together and get their own turn in, but they left it wide open, and I mean, you can't really trust a Leoric to try to clear that off by himself, and so it ends up being a turn in for Blue. They're second of the game, looking to get their second structure of the game. Bottom just hanging on. Oh, Leoric, no, not like this. He's got his Wraithwalk. He's trying to get out. Does he get out, though? He still has his Entomb if he needs to rip it. Will he have any opportunity? And no, that's 7 gems down. ReGen Red very close by. They're going to give up those gems and have to make a defense without their offlane.
That is a solo Wailing Arrow on the Leoric, however, so we'll see if that was worth it. It does also look like Sylvanas did use the trait on that solo fort. I think maybe waiting either for the bot lane or continuing to push in that middle lane may have gotten a bit more value, but it does look like ReGen Blue will easily clear all the forts with this particular push. Let's see if they get even more value.
All 3 outer forts are down on the side of ReGen Red. ReGen Blue still with a couple of Web Weavers on the map. One bottom, one top. Bottom lane below 50% health. This is where the team is. All 5 members pushing in on this wall. Now Web Weaver showing up, and they still have a huge minion wave. Sylvanas push as well. They still got those beetles here with a Nubrak in the bush nearby. So this keep is under serious pressure. ReGen Red gonna have to make a defense right now, Reg.
Absolutely. Grendel in that back line, just zoning everyone out. Zulkin trying to entomb there, getting 3 members into the crushing jaws. 4, excuse me, as we see Whitemane getting hit. That Pyroblast going to take her down without a question. Mongoose continuing to chase Arrow, pulling him back to his death, and Zulkin goes down once again. So much damage. 4 members down on ReGen. Carve looking to try to survive this last push. Will he make it? Yes, and that is the keep that goes down, Murda.
Yeah, that keep went down, man. 4 heroes of ReGen Red as well fall on that play, and that's really going to be the #1 play of the game when we go back and look at this, of changing the entire course of the end of this map here with all those kills. The 4 kills coming out means ReGen Red are going to be very far behind. 16s are a mile away, and they're just about to be picked up here by ReGen Blue. I'll put those up on your screen for you right now. But there's a lot of work ahead for ReGen Red, still without any structures down on the enemy side of the field here.
Yeah, and I think the idea of Red's comp is to find that Leoric Entomb, smash the Crushing Jaws along with that Planet Cracker. The execution hasn't been here throughout the game. It looks like there's a bit of miscommunication between the members. I like the idea of that flank with Leoric, but the rest of the team does need to be there to follow up. So it looks like Blue is posturing here in that mid lane, looking for a blow up, as they are approximately 24 gems away from turn-in once again. Red does have their turn-in, but they have to be careful as they don't want to get collapsed on by ReGen Blue.
Yeah, I'm surprised they're not really pressuring this boss, especially with that camp in bottom lane. I want to see, once a response shows there, just rip the boss. Larsen's going to check it with Sylvanas, now seeing they're not there, but they have eyes on Johanna. They still have a level 16 advantage. I would love to see them just use the advantage that they have and try to make a play on something on this map, whether it be the boss or just looking for a fight, trying to isolate someone with this hook on Stitches.
Absolutely, and as the game progresses, as you mentioned, Murder, Sylvanas is starting to do so much damage. Mongoose looking for a hook here, trying to pull anyone in, as we do see ReGen Red does get their second Web Weaver turn-in. Can they make the play back here? I think at the minimum they need to look for some forts here, but with that bot lane so far pushed out, their real options are going to be in that top and that mid lane, and we do see Blue postured in the top to clear these Web Weavers nice and early, so I'm not really sure how much value this is going to get.
Yeah, this is going to be very tough for ReGen Red, but I think they have to just start looking for a fight. That's really their spot back in this. Forget about rotating where they were, rotate where they're going. Get to mid right now, look for this fight behind them, set it up right now with Johanna. Here it comes, Dragon.
Absolutely, we do see Arrow engaging there with the Condemn. The white mate is the one that gets silenced. Zulkin is nabbing
Larsen,
the
great job.
Absolutely great job there, as a huge challenge goes out onto the Leoric, taking him down. White Mane, Divine Aegis protecting the enemy team as Mongoose gets super low. Red forced to back off. White Mane trying to keep Antarius alive, but that Pyroblast doing so much damage. Excellent patience there as the silence goes out onto Arrow, and for Psychic not having the heals to sustain through that damage, the poke being so huge. Web Weaver for the red team still in that bot lane, only getting 1 fort down and not getting a ton of value, as we do see ReGen Blue continuing to push into that mid lane.
Yeah, unfortunate they're still not going to get any of these forts down after that second objective of theirs. ReGen Blue still healthy on the map. Looks like are making a rotation to the boss. It's exactly where they're going. Only 3 on the map right now for ReGen Red. They are in this top lane. They're in minions, but can they get in here and defend the boss as well? I don't think so, Rag. I wonder if they're even going to have the balls to go in here and try to make an attempt at it.
I think it's going to be tough. I mean, Johanna is just coming out. They're 2 levels behind. That boss is almost down. I think Mongoose should be posturing in that bush here, just protecting the team, but Orphea and company are showing on that mid wave, so really no need to do that. And Blue does have the turn, and I think they should turn in here. Zulkin a bit far forward, the hook barely missing as Blue is pushed back and is looking for that turn in.
Yeah, this is going to be the last attempt here from ReGen Red. They don't have their Planet Cracker during this Entomb, but there it is. It's out. They're trying to get the damage from Orphea, and they end up losing 2 on their own side. They traded out for a Stukov, but this is a Nubarek now burrowing in, trying to lock in Phoenix. They find the kill, though, onto Orphea finally. Next could be White Mane. Yes, a quad kill for ReGen Blue. Boss still on the map. It's on the keep as we speak. They don't have a minion wave here, but they're going to go ahead and try to rip this down, Reg.
Yeah, absolutely. This keep will go down super easily because of that Sylvanas pressure. Going down here, and I think with level 20s, we can see ReGen Blue end the game. 3 members will still be down. Leora coming up. That Planet Cracker doing some damage as Jason, the PM, hitting Carb there. Wow, he gets the kill. I thought he would back up into the Nexus. But no, it's not enough. Zolkin trying to decrease the damage on the enemy team, but with the boss up, still at about 25% health. We do see the team go up. GGs are being called. That core is at 30%, 25%, going lower and lower. Kel'Thas does fall, but it won't be enough, Murda. I think game number 1 will go over to ReGen Blue.
It was close at the end there. I was like, maybe they get up. Finally, though, they finished the deal. We got our first game in the books. Tonight we're going to be playing a best of 3, as you see up at the top of your screen there. So we have at least one more match to come between these two teams. Oh, I got you on top of my chat. Hold on, let me move you. I'll put you up here. You can sit on my head.
Just all over the place today, right? All over the place.
Hey, Reg. Alright, so that's game number 1. Let me put the talents up on the screen because I know you guys like to see those. Anything stand out for you, Rag, in that one? Any MVPs? Anything notable?
Yeah, I absolutely love the play of Sylvanas and Stukov. So if we look at the stats really quickly, Sylvanas 57k damage, top damage on, in fact, for all the players, right? You mentioned this before, Murda. With the rework, Sylvanas is an absolute force to be reckoned with. There were some insane jukes, right? The Haunting Wave cast to get out of that Entomb, just kind of denying the idea of that combo. And Stukov also taking the opportunity to just land and deny those follow-up skill shots as well. So excellent job by the support and by Sylvanas there in the 4-man. I think Kel'Thas was also incredibly patient with those Pyroblasts, right? I mentioned at the beginning of the game, I would always be worried about those Pyros because White Mane can deny the majority of that damage. And it worked once, but Jason did adjust and wait for that armor to dissipate and then got the confirmed kill. So excellent job by Blue there, playing to their advantage, pushing with the Sylvanas, and I think Red just kind of let the game escape them.
Absolutely. So I did just get an invitation over to the next lobby.
Nice.
Keep me as spectator this time, please. It showed names last time, and I want to test this because they just changed, at least for the other draft modes, that you can see your opponent's names during those drafts while you're playing normal games now. Like it used to be. And then I noticed last game here in the custom lobby it was showing names. I think it makes sense that it doesn't show names. Either way. Alright, we got all 10 players here.
Nice. Cursed Hollow looks like is the choice. So is this a best of 3 or 3 games? Because I'm down to cast another unless both teams...
I mean, up to these guys, honestly. Okay. I wouldn't be surprised to see ReGen Red come out and take map number 2. I mean, map number 1 was pretty close. We got to get you as a caster, Carve as a player.
Yeah, I'm not the host, Mongoose.
Oh, he's.
I'm just letting them know. Okay. Yeah, I'm just letting them know. I'll carry Red if you want.
How you guys doing in Twitch chat? Is everyone having a good night? Oh, you know what we didn't do last game? I didn't pop in and do a live.
Oh man! All right, we got it.
Okay.
We got to do that this game. If you forget, I will try to remind us.
Oh, sweet! Look at this. We got portrait synergy on both sides now.
Nice-oo.
Tell them I'm ready.
Nice. Yeah, I think that last game, right? Again, the CC and the disable mechanics from Blue was just too much to handle. I think Red in that particular case just needed to be way more aggressive. Their composition really only succeeded based on one particular mechanic, and if that all-in doesn't work, then you're gonna fall apart mid to late game. So I'd like to see a bit more aggression from Red here. I think the ult synergy could have been a bit better. That Divine Aegis can be cast at times to deny bursts, right, from the other side as well. So
sure. I
think if they just tighten that up just a little bit, then they have an absolute chance to shine.
All right. Slice and Dice, you asking in chat, is this a best of 3? The answer is yes. This will be a best of 3 here tonight. And then, yeah, Old Tannian, it's just scrims, man. Scrims, we're having fun. It's, figured Season 6 right around the corner. We don't really have too much in terms of a preseason event, so I'm trying to get these guys ready to go. Maybe work on bringing home a title to the ReGen org, and at least having a successful campaign in whatever capacity that might be for these guys.
So it looks like we are ready to go. Murda, both teams did mention they are up for a third game if you are.
Okay, yeah, I don't have anything to do. Let's go.
Me neither. That's why I asked.
All right, so looks like we might get a guaranteed third game out of this after all. Can they launch? Ready? Oh, I guess he's waiting.
Mongoose. Lego.
H. Fowler Thorin saying, tell Reg he needs to play Drunken Panda Kappa.
Thor, I am reading Twitch chat. I am not a Chen player. I feed on other heroes. I don't need help in that department. Kappa.
Mongoose?
All right.
Launching?
Mongoose, hello? Hello? Team, hello? Hello, you there, Mongoose?
Launch it?
Host. There, hello? Maybe? There we go. All right.
Yay.
We got it.
All right.
NA production.
We made it to draft.
We did it. Ooh, Cursed Hollow. A map that I'm not exactly sure how this map plays out post-experience changes. Longer rotations for sure. 2 bosses on this map can dictate a lot of what happens this day and age, but not surprising, Diablo first ban for red.
Yeah, banned last game as well by them, if I recall correctly, so not wanting to play against it. Blue not wanting to play against Aspen, and that's their second ban in the first slot by them. So, yeah, a little bit of the same so far out of these teams here in draft number 2.
We're going to be doing that, Zool, regarding the live comms drop in this game. We were kind of in it last game, finding our rhythm. We will get that to you guys this game and next, so don't you worry. And why my head is acting like a green screen? Shui, I'm going to ban you. JK. Hanzo being the ban out here, still being a powerful pick, even though there were some changes to his level 7 talent recently where it only procs now off of hero auto attacks. I do expect to see a Maiev ban on the side of blue. Okay, they pick the Mal'Ganis, which is also a fine ban. We'll see what red decides to pick first here.
So, Aperture reworked today. Oh, yep, there he is. I'm just about to say, do you think one of these teams is going to take Abathur and it's going to be picked up right away there? Zerg on the other side, though. What's going on here?
Okay, I'm going to take a big swig of this glass. Because we see a Zagara pick. So the Abathur perfectly fine, right? He just got reworked today. But Zagara in the 1-2, hello? Is, okay.
Hello, you there?
Hello, are you there? It's not a Nazeebo, right? So that's, I told both teams that if they pick Nazeebo, they're getting banned from the server. So, Zagara picked, okay. Can be great with Nidus on this map, assuming Grendel doesn't just AFK push, right? Zagara is still important. We do see, ooh, a Greymane. Awesome to see that. Haven't seen one in a while, but particularly good for this map. Great combo with the Abathur. Excellent camp taker as well. And an ETC. The early ETC worries me just a little bit. Normally you see him picked a little bit later just because this does give the opportunity to get Mosh interrupts, right? They don't really have any right now on the side of blue, but they definitely can get some. ETC can also act as a solo laner with that stage dive, as we see Repsychic's support Deckard getting banned out by blue.
Rex got more than Deckard Cain here on this map. I think he's going to want the Tyrande, to be honest. If they want to leave that open, I think that's a mistake if ReGen Blue does that. We'll see what they're thinking here. I would imagine they want to go ahead and get the support they want before giving opportunity for Repsychic in their next draft pick. So probably support and tank here, I'd imagine, for ReGen Blue. Could
be the Stitches again. It had excellent play last time. We see a Nubarak and Thrall being taken though, Murda. I like the Nubarak. Again, that was Red took the Nubarak. No, I'm sorry. It was a solo lane Nubarak last game, so maybe that's a comfort pick. But we do see Mongoose picking that up with Larson taking that Thrall. Thrall these days can run in the 4-man. On this particular map, you generally see a 1-3-1 or some configuration of that. with camp takers. So Falstad taken and an Alexstrasza. Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah, I was gonna say for ReGen Blue, I would have loved to have seen like an Uther pickup to try to counter the Greymane damage that's coming out. But instead, they're just not gonna take a support. Leaves the Alexstrasza for his Psychic, and now Osteel is gonna have to figure out his support. But he has a look at everything on the other side, so maybe he had something in mind. The Tyranda's still open. It's just gonna be Stukov again, which played really well in game number 1, and now they can combo it with some of these stunts from a Nubarak and some of this frost damage Jaina can throw down.
I do like the Tyrande though a bit better. She just provides a lot of follow-up stuns to the Thrall, to the Nubarak, right? Healing output can easily be over 100k if you take that level 1 talent and constantly auto-attack. Whereas Stukov, depending on your build, right? If you don't take targeted excision, you're generally seeing 60 to 80k on a good game throughout the duration. So the healing output isn't quite the same. If the enemy team plays against that around the silence intelligently or tries to interrupt it as it's going out, then he will have a hard time. So we will see how both teams play this matchup. I'm interested in seeing how the Abathur plays post rework today. So I'm super excited, Murda.
All right. Well, here we go. Game number 2. Cursed Hollow.
Heroes.
We got the same teams running down their lanes, heading towards these walls, and I'll introduce the one on the left-hand side. They are ReGen Blue. Jason is playing Jaina. We got Grendel on a Nubarak. Down bottom, we see Thrall played by Larson. Coming out of the gate, it's Osteel. He's on Stukov, and back at base, it's the captain once again.
10 seconds.
Oh, this time he's playing a Nubarak. Last game he was on the Stitches. It's Mongoose.
5, 4.
And on the right-hand side, we have ReGen Red with Psychic playing that Alexstrasza, Arrow on the ETC, Abashore on the Greymane, Carve playing that Falstad, and Zulkin, no doubt, playing his Abathur.
Ooh. So yeah, we got to remember live drop-ins on comms. We promised you guys that, and I'm going to bring it to you. Such new technology, I completely forgot we had it during game number 1.
You know what we should do? We should swap over to one of the teams during the first tribute. I think that would be perfect, just to kind of hear what that sounds like in decision making.
Perfect. We'll want to go to ReGen Red first.
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah,
So
and we'll go to ReGen Blue during the second tribute then.
Nice. Yeah, I think that's great. So as we look at how the map's evolving, we do see Falstad getting pushed really hard by Grendel in top. That is a losing matchup in most cases. I think Abathur will need to help support there just a little bit because that poke damage by the Zagara will ultimately out-sustain that Falstad. At the 1 minute mark, both camps do spawn for the siege, so hoping to see a rotation there by the Greymane.
Pink attempt coming bot. Here comes the Nubarak. But they're spotted by these mines, so Abashore should have room to get back, but Blizzard right on top of them! Jason with beautiful placement said, hey, this is the only spot you can walk, so Blizzard there, please?
Well done there, and Zulkin's mines in those bushes almost stopping that kill from happening, but like you said, that placement was spectacular. First blood does go over to ReGen Blue as they pull away slightly in experience. Mongoose diving onto the EPC in that mid lane, having gone the Meridian Arbor over the Globe talent at level 1.
Alright, still checking in up top, and Falstad seems to be struggling mightily up against Zagara. Grendel having his way so far. And, you know, this is a Falstad who's gone into the season marksman build at level 1, so he's got to stay in these lanes and soak and wait till really late game to do anything with that level 1 talent. So he's going to have to work against the Zagara and figure out a way to get heals primarily out of this Abathur that, quite frankly, doesn't do quite as much as it did yesterday.
Yeah, and picking Falstad into Zagara, as you mentioned before, is a very tough matchup. Generally, into a Zag, you want to pick something that has self-sustain. The self-sustain right now is being offered by the Abathur, which does...
All right, Rag, let's go.
Go ahead. Let's do it.
Let's switch over.
All right.
All right,
so keep in mind Zagara doesn't have the mobile yet, so
yeah,
make her leave first.
she might not even go, to be honest. Yeah. I'm going down this way, or coming around this way, rather.
You want me to come?
Do we want Falstad? Probably
So,
need both.
yes.
Coming.
Yeah, you need to win this. She's staying. You need
Yeah,
to win.
and it has the camp.
We can push up, like, we can go in.
Don't delay. You need to fight it.
Yeah. Got the channel for now. They're gonna look to interrupt me. Okay. I'm gonna dragon. Just go. Go too deep because they got towers.
I'm not.
We can't channel yet. We have to finish the fight. Alright, they just took top, so, like, we really need to get this.
Brawl. Yeah,
Um,
I can't get it. I'm only gotta make up.
That silence, frick.
Delay?
nope.
So not good.
Want me to go bottom? Then? Or do you want me to go?
All right, Rag. So
I am here.
So what did we see there? We saw a little bit of a late maybe rotation from the Falstead. Maybe wanted to get down a minute sooner. And then ultimately was really fantastic defense by ReGen Blue, able to keep them anywhere from channeling during that Dragon Queen cast.
Yeah, I think one sort of optimization I would have made there too, right? ETC going in pushes the team away instead of slides and push back into red, right? So the idea there with the 4v5, even with an Abathur, is to out-sustain, to poke, and to ultimately get that tribute, right?
Yeah, the
especially with the
tribute.
Zagara not
Both
there.
face me.
So I think red just needs to adjust a little bit. They need to be a bit more aggressive, as I think let's switch over to blue.
All right, we're gonna drop in on ReGen Blue now.
All right, wait for Jaina. Wait for Jaina. Wait for Jaina. Zach, come up. Zach, come up.
Down.
Ooh, mine.
Hi, Rag.
They are not coming in. It doesn't look like.
Okay, I'm gonna help him clear. I'm gonna help him clear bottom. Abba's bottom still. Abba's bottom still.
The Abba's on the bottom here a little bit. If they're not.
Yeah. I like it.
Okay, then now they're coming in.
Oh,
Now they're coming in.
Abathur's back there.
Gotta back up.
Okay, coming up.
Coming up.
ETC's actually a little bit low here.
Get him.
Oh,
Get out.
Alex. Nice, good body blocks.
Okay, she's gone. Let's back up lanes. Mid fort, Zach bottom, everyone else mid fort.
I just pulled a good.
All right, Rag. So kind of a tale of two different teams there. I heard a team that was excited, having fun, and ready to kill in that play.
I do as well, and I think this Stukov, this Osteel Stukov is such a big problem that Mule being taken down immediately there, and we do see the first two tributes going over to blue as they also have level 10. They need to be a little bit careful. The flailing swipes going out just to deny that re-engage. Abathur going down in that top lane. T-Tours missed that one, but Zagara placing that Nidus everywhere, bot and top, as we do see blue going onto the enemy team's boss.
Yeah, this is perfect for them. Boss right next to where their third tribute is spawning. They're going to have to make this defense against a Falstead maybe about to get a Gust in just 2 seconds. They're so close, and now Falstead can lock Gust in, try to make a defense here. He does get it, but this is still going to be very close if it's even going to happen.
Oh, just not in
No attempt.
time. Jaina
cast it.
blowing them up. They needed to cast that. Everyone going down. Once again, that silence proving to be a nuisance. And with 3 members down, a boss, no ultimate evolution used. No ultimates taken. Zagara going back, getting that tribute as all lanes begin to push. And we have a full-blown healthy boss pushing at that top lane as Larson starts the siege forward.
Yeah, this boss is making it to the wall right now. Still a minute left on this curse against the red team. They're just now respawning. They have Abathur ready to clone and take a fight if they can find anything. But with this boss here, they got bigger fish to fry for the time being. And with Abathur dead again down bottom to Zagara, It's just not looking good for ReGen Red, but this is a great mosh pit. And with that huge cleansing flame over top, it was doing a lot of damage, but not enough to earn any kills for ReGen Red.
Abashur not casting Go for the Throat that was available there. I think that's a time where you absolutely need to do that. Maybe even comboed with the life, not the Lifeliner, excuse me, the Cleansing Flames, as we see Greymane completing that Q quest, the team diving under the backline. Thrall just hitting his ultimate there, splitting the team as we see the fort go down. Arrow trying to survive, but getting rooted again. The Mighty Gust going out, keeping Falstad alive, keeping ETC alive there as we see pressure on that bot lane. And Murda, I think this is definitely 2 keeps, maybe even 3, as we see the camp getting taken by the Zagara in the middle of all that. Regen Blue playing out of their minds as Abither keeps that keep in the bot lane alive with that Mule.
Yeah, Mule's going to keep it up, but with Siege Camp coming and potentially, oh, that's going to be it with Zag backing out here after this. But boss coming. Look at Regen Blue. They're ready to get their second boss of the game. With those other 2 keeps down, this boss will be pushing on the final one that's left. And with the wall out of the way, towers out of the way, it's going to be pushing right in on that keep. And potentially, once it's down, they can be looking to end this game.
Nothing feels worse, Murda, than having a 3 to 4 man mosh and no follow-up, as Zul Rules mentions in Twitch chat. That was a huge opportunity to wipe the team, but with members down, it just wasn't going to happen. Zagara, you know, I take that back. Even in that 1-2 pick, Grendel putting on a show, just having that creep everywhere. Knight is spread throughout the map, able to rotate and just harass as the enemy team push forward. And very rare to see in this day and age in the game as it currently stands, but they are 2.5 levels up as the boss is pushing into this keep.
Boss here ready to go. Jaina trying to get some damage on top of those blizzards and all her ice dices, but now it's ETC in trouble, and he's down. First kill, just a little late from Carve, and that's going to mean this keep is 100% dead as the boss is just passing his 50% health. Zulkin pops into his clone, but he's instantly deleted, and now it's just Abashur trying to escape. Sunder on top going to knock him loose, and Greymane's going to be down. That's Alex Straza inside the cocoon, boss on the core, and ReGen Blue is looking like they're getting ready to send this set to 2-0.
That is so tough to see, Murda. Ban that Sukov. Get Osteal off of that hero. Those silences super clutch, but once again, with that combination in place, you do need to watch for it. You have to protect, as you mentioned, the Gust just a little bit late there. And once again, even with that Abither comp and a Greymane, the blue team takes this game handedly, just playing the macro game super hard, picking off that Abither at critical points in those team fights, and just not letting ReGen Red come back.
Yeah, it was looking okay for a minute, but maybe having to learn how to play with this Abither post rework and figure out kind of how it fits into the new form of playing, and is it enough healing? Is the healing build even worth trying to build? Or maybe trying to switch more to just a pure hat build, or maybe even go completely off the rails and start looking at Monstrosity that just got reworked with that burrow. I don't know, we'll see. Abither in a weird spot for today, and maybe throughout the week the fog starts to settle a bit on what's going to be best running that hero in these games.
Yeah, I think an adjustment that you can definitely make, though, into a Zagara is not really let her push that far out, right? We mentioned early on in the game that Falstad into Zagara doesn't work particularly well. I'm not sure if that's a drafting issue or a hero pool limitation, right? It could be a variety of things, but even if that's the case, you generally want to send someone up to deal with that, right? Abither and Falstad alone can't deal with it, so you can rotate that Greymane up to try to blow up and still soak the additional lane. So that is an adjustment that you can make against Zagara players, especially on a map like this where if you don't keep her in check, she will just roam free and take that siege down. Yeah.
So you guys in chat are talking about cocktail build from Greymane. Looks like we did see perfect aim at level 1, over at level 7, incendiary elixir. So those were the options there from Abashur. Oh, looks like we just got our lobby for game number 3. So we'll switch back over here to our caster scene, and thoughts after game number 2. If you're Regen Red, what are you doing at this time trying to get yourself back into the set and maybe walk away with a victory here in game number 3?
I think Red needs to play comfort. They need to play standard picks, right? Abathur execution is generally very high. I don't think it's impossible for the team to do that, but into that kind of composition, again with a split pusher, it is really tough, right? They were also lacking frontline, so I would like to see maybe someone that has a bit more health in that solo lane. We have been seeing things like Arthas there, Imperius there, just some more protection for their backline. Because in this case, you mentioned it was a Grey main with an Alexstrasza support. Doesn't generally give you any kind of burst protection, especially into a Jaina and even that Stukov. So I would like to see some draft adjustments here. Stukov has been a problem for Red, and Ostiel has been playing it incredibly well. So if that needs to be a ban, then I would like to see that be a ban this upcoming game.
I don't hate the idea, the thought of banning away something we've seen twice, and both times played well. So we'll see if Regen Red wants to make that a decision here at the start of this draft. This will be our final map of the evening. Regen Blue up 2-0. So looking for a sweep here they are, and Regen Red trying to hold off that sweep and walk away with a win against their sister team here in Regen Blue.
Yeah, and Battlefield of Eternity is a really fun map to end the series on. It's way more focused on team fighting. The objective is well defined. It doesn't spawn on different spots of the map other than the positions, which are now known in advance. So excited to see how the team fights pan out. I think if there's a bit more focus in those team fights and everyone gets to be on the same page, both teams have the capability of winning. It's just, again, who executes that composition better, regardless of what it is, and who takes the enemy team down. So well within the realm of possibility for Red to win for sure. I think, once again, they just need to play into their strengths and deny those of Blue.
Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment, and I'm wondering what they're going to do in the event Stukov is banned out, and what other support Ostiel might want to play. They banned out before the Deckard Cain, right? And we were kind of wondering, well, they should probably take a support here. And it seems like they're just comfortable that no one's worried about Stukov. Stukov's going to make it through traps and just get it at the end for our boy.
Zool Rules in chat saying, Game 3 goal for Regen Red. Kill a fort.
Oh, God.
Okay.
It feels bad, man.
Feels bad, man. But true. I would like to see them take an objective. Even with the objectives taken in that first game, on Tomb of the Spider Queen, wave clear was the focus by Blue. So again, excellent drafting there. And in that last game as well, Regen Red not really punishing that early specialist pick. So we'll see what the ban is here for Red. First off, Diablo, this is one of his greatest maps in my opinion, with those corridors. You often see Feast on Fear taken at 1 over Devil's Due just because the laning phase is much shorter and you don't get those minions to get the souls up. So not surprising, predicted the future. Diablo is our first ban.
I don't know why they're saying my microphone's flickering. I don't know what it's doing.
Not as distracting as my forehead though, so that's okay.
Yeah, I mean, if it's flickering, I don't know why. Hold on, let me try resetting this really quick.
And it's not called cover up, it's called concealer. Get it right, okay? Thanks.
Okay, well, I don't know if that fixed it. Maybe it did.
Never seen so many eyebrow razors in one cast. I mean, I am Latino American, right? So it makes perfect sense. So we do see a.
Do these bands look familiar?
Focus. Yeah, they're almost identical, right, to everything that you see in Hero League and in the last games, right, for a reason. Yeah. Tanks and Azmodan. We do see that ban on the Anubarak, though, which is not surprising. This will be a Garrosh being played by Arrow.
It has moments of loudness. That's interesting.
That might just be Murda, you know? That might not be his mic.
It could just be me. Is it like when I turn this way, it's like quiet, and then when I turn this way, it's like louder? It could just be that I need to like actually talk to my mic more.
I don't know. I hear you just fine, but
Okay.
I don't know.
This realm needs me.
All right, we see a Li Ming taken along with a Malthael. I love the Malthael into Garrosh. Last rights, more than often the pick here, especially in this meta. Li Ming, you kind of used to see her a lot here maybe a year ago, and these days you generally see a Hanzo over Li Ming. Surprised that they let that go through. It sounds like that's probably a comfort pick on Jason. Wouldn't be surprised if he goes the Q build, although most folks still tend to go the teleport reset build. So Tyrande being taken, I absolutely love that pick. And we have a Jaina. So already, Murda, I love the draft of Regen Red significantly more. It's way more meta. There's a lot of wave clear. There's follow-up CC. With that Garrosh, it just really depends on if the synergy is there between our support and tank player.
Oh. Did that fix it? I might have fixed it. I think I fixed it. There's some sort of weird filter on my microphone on OBS. They're gonna tell me that fixed it. I don't know what was going on there. Anyway.
Beautiful holiday. I absolutely love that emote. I need it.
Oh yeah, that was pretty.
Emote.
Look at that.
Nice. So we see Greymane being banned out by Regen Blue, denying that damage and that burst effectively, that burn onto the objective. And finally, finally, we see the denial. So we'll see. Can Astiel play another support? I don't know his hero pool yet. I know that it's comprised of Stukov for sure. We have Whitemane still up, which might not be bad into Jaina Garrosh. Uther's also still up, which wouldn't be too bad. We see Tychus. There we go. There's the Uther. So not surprising that D-Shield can also go on to that Malthael, which will protect him, and that's a force to be reckoned with. Also, the cleanse is really nice into that Garrosh and Tyrande. I love this, and we see the Tychus pickup, right? Really focusing heavy on that Garrosh.
My concern here is frontline, and is Garrosh going to be able to just walk right in your face and do what he wants to do? This final pick for Mongoose is going to be telling what direction they want to go at tank. ETC is going to be his pick, and pretty quick there on that selection. Not a ton of ways that I can see a Mosh being successful up against his Raynor, Tyrande, and Garrosh.
You have a D-Shield.
Yeah, you think? The Divine Bovine?
I mean, the Divine Bovine is a thing. It's been run since this game came out, right? It just really depends on whether it's executed well. Sometimes you will see the pre-cleanse as well, but we have a Tyrande stun, a Garrosh Q, right? A Raynor Q as well that can deny that. It just really depends on that synergy. Lunara does tend to burn the Uther out pretty quickly. Both teams are pretty squishy. The only real burst denial coming from that Uther. So we will see how that plays out. But the more interesting thing to me, Murda, is that this is probably looking like a Raynor in the solo lane.
Yeah, that's odd. Maybe the Lunara, because Zulkin's playing the Lunara, and we've seen him playing solo so far today. So that's my guess, and leave Raynor in the 4-man. Either way, I like the race. I think Lunara brings a lot, but you know, let's introduce these teams, and then let me switch scenes first, and then we'll talk about some of these talent picks when we get a little further. So on the left-hand side, once again, Regen Blue. Grendel's gonna be on Malthael, Mongoose on ETC. Larson playing Tychus. Jason's on our Li Ming here, and finally up top on support playing Uther is Astiel. They are Regen Blue.
And on the right-hand side, trying to prevent that shutout, just like there with his good luck, have fun, is Regen Red with Carve playing that Raynor, Abashore playing the Jaina, Recyclic on the Tyrande, looking for that Owl, missing Grendel, rip, and Arrow playing the Garrosh. And we see the 4-man, actually. This is an interesting little change up here. Okay, going to the top first, Zulkin here on the Lunar, excuse me, that is Regen Red. I said that all in a different order. It just kind of confused me how they started up. But Jason, the Li Ming is in the solo lane? What?
I guess they just don't want to give away their Malthael to a Lunara. I don't know. That's odd.
I think either way the matchup is going to be tough, whether it's the Li Ming or the Malthael. I do think maybe the idea here is that Li Ming can siege better into the top and just kind of nuke the waves a bit easier without taking that poke damage. So we'll see how that plays out, but definitely a very non-standard thing as we see ReGen Red pushing in just a little bit. The combo from Arrow missing ever so slightly as ETC is looking for those slides.
Yeah, Power Slide gonna whiff a little bit there, and Arrow's gonna be able to walk back. Let's check in up top because this is an interesting matchup, and so far it looks like it's just a mana matchup with Zulkin having 100%, Jason down to 50% already on his Li Ming. So sustain if Zulkin can continue the mana battle that way. Might eventually go in his favor. Right now he's actually pushing Li Ming all the way back, gonna take away 50% of the health and force out a tap.
Yeah, and I think that matchup is really going to be all based on skill shots as we see Malthael taking a very early camp. It was scouted out by ReGen Red, but it doesn't look like they will do anything about it.
Well, now Jayzaw's in a world of hurt. He's down to about 15% health. Zulkin's still here pressuring. We'll see if he steps up and finds any more poison damage, but I think if Jason gets hit one more time, he could actually fall here to the deer. Oh, that was close too.
We do see Arrow getting super low as ReGen Red does take that bot camp, and I really do think that Blue should have waited to cap this camp a little closer to the Immortal spawn point, right? This will get cleared out by Red. They might do a little bit of damage to this fort wall, but they aren't really optimizing that time as we see ReGen Red.
Just walked out to Zulkin up top, and he's gonna fall. What a trap set.
First blood going out to ReGen Red, starting in their favor, and camp timing a little better there. Again, you can wait just a little bit more, but this camp will reach the top area by the time the Immortal spawns. We do see Jaina going Fingers of Frost. Tough to complete on this map. I generally, if I take her on this map, will take Q at 1 or something else. Maybe even an adjustment into the Tychus, but we see both teams moving as Lunara gets rotated on in that top lane. Murder, should we switch to team comms?
Yeah, let's go into ReGen Red.
All right.
We just burn.
Yeah, keep it up.
Yep.
Head this way. So we don't have vision of them. I'm gonna send it straight down the middle though. And
Okay, they're just
where
going on
Malthael
it.
is. I've got Hunter's Mark flying on it right now. Whoa.
Oh,
You gotta be kidding me.
Okay, head top. Go to defend. Zulkin goes bottom, as usual.
Alright, so what do we see there, Rag? Looked like one stun at the end by the Immortal was enough to prevent ReGen Red from getting that objective.
I actually feel sick having needed to watch that. 55 health is all that separated. Luckily, there are no shields to that Immortal. I think this was a good opportunity for Garrosh to push in with that Unstoppable, that Indomitable, and try to toss someone over the wall, but not really taking that advantage as the Immortal gets taken down. This is a good opportunity for them to counter push. It is a 4v4. Will Red take that advantage? Both teams are still level 7 as we see the Tychus getting comboed down. The Jaina Cone of Cold missing there. And ReGen Red, I think, really did miss an opportunity. That's a perfect chance to push in, throw someone, stun them in the back, and start taking those tower shots.
Both teams level 7. Look at this rotation coming from ReGen Blue down up against Zulkin here in this bottom lane. They're trying to catch him out, maybe sticking his neck out in this lane a little bit too far. I think he senses it. Oh, he does sense it. Does he? I don't know. Zulkin, you're in trouble again. Get out of here, dear. Power Slide's gonna whip, but he's body blocked in and blasted. Absolutely blasted.
Feels bad, man. I love the fact that Red is in the top lane taking advantage of that wave and that camp taken to counter push, but ReGen Blue in that bot lane capitalizing on that kill begins to counter push as well. So structures in this game are fairly even, as is the experience minus that one kill, but Jaina here will be able to clear this out pretty quickly as that wave pushes into the bottom.
Yeah, I think we're going to have to see Lunara make an adjustment with this Wisp and start playing it more aggressively, watching out for these gank rotations coming down, because twice now, in somewhat like critical spots before objectives falling is not helping ReGen Red establish an XP lead in this game. Right now, they're down by about a half level with this second Immortal phase spawning. We're going to listen in on ReGen Blue.
Hi, Murda. We're gonna go straight to burn, straight to burn, straight to burn. Hi, Rag. Rainer showing top. Rainer showing top. Missing, missing, missing.
Burn.
That's okay. We won by 55 last time. That's all we need.
Good point. Do we defend here? I think we
It depends on what they show. I think we're gonna defend until they show on the clear.
Yeah.
Oh no! Actually, just burn it. They're in the off lane.
Oh, you're right. Damn. They're giving that to us.
Missing. Care for the invade.
I need gloves.
They're on their camp, maybe? No, okay.
He's going bot.
With
I think
five
we all
man,
just go
five man
bot.
bottom.
Yeah.
5-man bot.
Watch the bushes. Lunara just showed top. Oh, I just missed it.
Yeah, looking for the slide.
Well,
Get,
we're gonna
Jimmy?
I'm not there.
Uh-oh. Back up.
Thought our wave was gonna be in faster. That's alright.
Be ready for Divine Mosh. Be ready.
Hold on, I need cooldown.
Cow, baby!
Hug me, Andrew. Hug me.
Cooldown.
Hashtag monsters need to like.
Watch the flip over the wall, though. That's the
I'm holding to see.
Get front wall.
Come to this. Bullshit. Blocking all this in, more of this in the side left. There we go.
Keep going. This thing's still alive. Pushing. Be ready for Holy Cow. I'm still
Good
looking.
spot for the cow on the right side here.
Yep.
Okay, it's about to go down.
Kill Lunara.
Oh.
Everybody out.
I'm gonna die. Andrew's dead. Let him go.
Let him die.
Okay.
Couple of mosh
I need Lunar.
opportunities there, Murdo,
I don't
I
have an
think,
hour
that
or
were
anything
not
like that, so-
capitalized on, but I don't remember who said it on the side of ReGen Blue,
Okay,
but
we need to
they
capitalize on
gave
this right
away
now
an
at the top.
Immortal for free, and even with these 2 kills, even experience, right? I think that was really the Immortal for Red, but they apparently needed an entire team to clear a camp, and they let that get out of their hands.
They did. They sent a lot of heroes down to clear that camp. It gave up so much opportunity, and wisely, you heard there during the listen-in how quickly they were to say, hey, no, just push this, like race, and they were able to quickly get it down and to their benefit. Won that objective, got through a fort, and a lot of that bottom keep wall, and started working on the keep itself.
But as Zula Rules mentioned right before this game, Red did get a fort down, Murda. So building wise, the game is even. Even though the keep wall is down in that bot lane, experience is dead even, so it could be anyone's game. We do see a water elemental chosen over the Ring of Frost with the Garrosh. Interesting choice there. I realize with the Uther, you can he can prevent some of that blow up, but I do think with the squishy targets, that Ring of Frost
extra
is generally
slows
still
for
the
ace
choice.
in the hole, maybe.
Fair, also a good point. As you do see an engage potentially breaking out, the Lunara just getting absolutely deleted by Tychus and crew as the red team tries to push in, needing to be a little bit careful there as Tychus does cast his ultimate, starting to siege in to try to defend. I think maybe a little bit too early. We'll see what happens as Tirana goes to push in. Unstoppable being cast as Arrow pushes everyone back. And it does look like Red will live to see another day as ReGen Blue begins to push onto their Immortal.
Yeah, I mentioned it already. I'd love to see Lunara play a little bit safer. Use this Wisp. Stop finding yourself out in front. We're going to get just thrown around and beat up like this in all these fights. Now they find themselves down halftime, 50% against on their Immortal, and they have to make a stand, but they're close in XP. Neither team's level 13 yet, which is really the important part. That they can still take this even fight, but they have to take it now, Rag.
Absolutely, and I think at this point, both teams should be sending someone to that lane to get that level 13. Arrow pushing out, using that Unstoppable nice and early, trying to get Osteel back in. The Divine Shield self-cast, not on Mongoose on that ETC, as he hits 3-4 people with that mosh pit under the stun of that Immortal, taking everyone down as Li Ming begins to pop off with those resets. Arrow looking for those stuns, or getting stunned like it's his job, as Grendel continues pushing in, doing so much damage to the back line, and it's a 1-for-2 trade. That mosh pit dealing so much damage and stunning the entire team, Murda.
Yeah, Mongoose is probably feeling pretty good right now. I would have liked to have listened in on that one. Hitting a 4-man and swinging a fight that you saw Lunara chasing off Tychus early in the fight and was able to kill him, but then Leaping Strikes ended up landing right in the mosh pit, and yeah, a good play for ReGen Blue, and they still find themselves in this objective ahead. Not much has changed over the past couple of minutes here.
Yeah, I agree, and we can talk about talent adjustments here for Red post-game. I think the Lunara would have been better off going the Thornwood Vine, as we see ReGen Red pushing it once again. It is a even talent here. We do see the Shadow Stalk getting cast a little bit early as Arrow pushes in, looking to taunt that Malthael, as so much damage goes down, and we do see the Malthael going down. The mosh pit not being up. Tychus is the next to fall. Lunara focusing on Osteel in that back line, not being able to keep the team alive, as Mongoose will go down as Jaina is tossed into him. And we do see the first big sign of life from ReGen Red. Good focus there as Jason tries to take the enemy team down. One reset might do him in, as Recycling gets super low, missing 125 health. Recycling dodging the teleports, not being enough, and Jason goes down.
Oh, Poggin! That was fun. All right, Jason was so close to getting one, which would have been two. Then I mean, that could have been anything.
That could have been anything, Murda. All you need is that one reset to start popping off, right? And we do see interesting Aether Walk at level 1. Not a very common pick, especially into a Jaina. I think the spell damage or the spell shield here is generally better on your Q. But we'll see, as this is the first Immortal taken over by ReGen Red. Unstoppable, and that Tychus, ultimate is popped. We see Odin come here out for that counter siege, as Red does start pushing in. Will this fort go down, Murda?
And they're getting their first objective since map number 1. But here we go. It's an Immortal bottom lane, and the fort's going to be down. This is matching damage that happened on their side of the map. So with this still above 50% health, they're looking to get this Keith wall down, and ReGen Red currently sitting with level 16 advantage over their opponents at ReGen Blue, sieging forward through this bottom keep wall, now looking to get some damage onto this keep.
Mosh Pit is up, Murda. ReGen Blue, even though they are a talent tier down, could look to counter engage. Mongoose positioning, the Divine Shield not being there, but catching 4 members anyway. Divine Shield a little bit late, but we do see the Li Ming just absolutely decimating, resets after resets going off. Zulkin being the only one that's surviving due to that leaping strike, and I called it, Murda. You cannot clump like that into an ETC. The stun was not there, no one there to deny that Mosh Pit. Even without the Divine Shield, ReGen Blue, just like that, catches back up in experience and is now looking to push that bottom keep for free.
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, that was just the cleanest stack Mongoose is going to find all season long. And it happened right here in game number 3 up against their friends, ReGen Red. But there you go. First keep of this game is down. It's in favor of ReGen Blue on the backs of a fantastic play from Mongoose, the captain, and a lot of cleanup duty there from Jason. But that's what you love to see when you're Li Ming. Just targets ready to fall, and let me throw some orbs in your face.
Absolutely, and you know, it's a hard lesson learned, right? This isn't the first time it happened this game. We do have a Raynor, a Garrosh, and a Tyrande that all have that some capability, right? So someone needs to play further back, and as a support main myself, I generally hold that, right? That's my job to make sure that I'm not there. Tyrande can play at range as well. There's no reason you need to be that far forward. So ReGen Red is a little bit ahead in experience. I think with a good adjustment, all talents being up, all ultimates, excuse me, they just need to watch that Mosh Pit. Mosh will be up in 20. Blue can play just a little bit passively. It will be pretty well timed overall with this next objective. So what will ReGen Red decide to do? Murder, let's go into Red comms.
I got Allen too, just to make sure that they're there. They are not.
We're gonna have to defend the immortal.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
They're all top. They're all top.
Top. Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna wait to cap theirs.
Here they come.
Don't fight on it, and don't be flung.
It's probably been long enough for Mosh.
Yeah, they're
This
gonna
point.
just,
So it's definitely been long enough.
they're on that camp.
Okay.
We don't really have the range to poke at their immortal either. Alright, so what are we doing here?
Oh, we're gonna have to wait.
They're gonna delay it for as long as they can. Oh,
Here they
they're
come.
moving in. They're moving in. Yep.
Yeah, they saw a Lunar bot.
Yep, that's what the trigger was.
All right, the Shadow Stock is out.
Okay.
Careful, Luna.
Okay. We need to go before
Go.
this reaches 0.
I'm going in. I'm going in. Taunt is not happening.
We got what's his name, Malthael, right behind us, or below us.
D shield's out.
Okay.
Get Malthael. 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 God fucking hell. Careful, jump up here.
Yep. Yeah, can that end? Yes, it can. That's 3 katas.
We need to
And they're about to finish this.
Okay, we gotta do it now.
Alright, that's fine. So just, this is a defending against a fort.
Odin's popped. It's gonna be not the extended duration.
They're going.
Alright, so here we go. This is potentially the final play of the game with ReGen Blue marching onto core. There's a mosh pit hitting onto 2. They get 1, but EDC is going to fall in exchange 1 for 1. Big taunt from Garrosh, locking in 2. Larson's low on that Tychus. He's going to go down. A 2 for 1 in favor of ReGen Red. They're going to make a defense on the core with Lunara in chase. Leaping strike, she has it. Can she get on top of either of these heroes? Uther's here, big stun. Grendel's still staying in. Leaping's out of mana, and this is going to be a dead Malthael to make it end up being a 3 for 1, unless... No, not like this.
Feels bad, man. I do like the idea there of pushing through that bot lane. The only downside is that you are even talent tiers, right? Even though most of the ultimates were up, you are giving Red a fair fight. In my opinion, the safer and better play is to push in that top lane, get level 20, and look for picks there, and guarantee the win with that immortal, right? You get stuns, you get protection, and now you're giving Red an entry back into the game. And if you look at the structures, you have no net gain other than giving the enemy team an advantage and an ability to get back into the game. In terms of the comms that we heard there, the team is playing way too passive. I don't like the idea of engaging with the Shadow Stock unless the team is on the same page, right? It's a lot of healing that gets wasted there, and it just sounds like the team overall needs to be a bit more decisive about pushing in, right? They let the Immortal go down for free. They do have a lot of blow up, right? With that Jaina, with the Tyrande, reducing the damage with the Owl at 13 and 16. I want to see Red be more aggressive. The enemy team has only 1 D shield and not a ton of protection after that, Murda.
Well, excuse me. Let's get late here on the East Coast. They've shown that they've been willing to take fights, but that last one, you're right, they seem so timid and like we're giving a lot more respect than maybe they even had to their opponents, and I would like to see them get in the face of Li Ming and really put her off her spot. Same with Tychus, but they got to walk past his ETC and then walk past that follow-up stun that's been coming from Uther. Let's give one last listen in here. Let's head over to ReGen Blue.
The Owl J, they're sitting right here.
Hi, Murda and Rag.
You guys grab that. I've got anchor. Watch the stealth. Watch the backside too.
I got
Come on top. Back. Wait for Welly. Wait out Welly.
Welly's dead.
Okay, that's Welly down. We don't care that they got that. Doesn't matter.
Oh,
Rainer.
Oh, he sidestepped me.
Stealth is out.
He's dead.
I'm way on the other side. Way on the other side.
I'm good.
Okay, we got him though. We're 5v4 here.
Step in here.
I need some love though.
D shields up.
Yes, it is.
You ready?
There we go.
Oh god.
Here it is.
Oh, wow. He played that well.
He did.
Oh, the stun got me. Dang it. Fighting it. Oh, Grendel. Jason, right here. You guys.
Stay on the here. Okay, let's burn it then, or kill Welly. Oh my god.
She's going up here.
We still have numbers, right? We can burn this.
Jane is dead.
Oh,
Nice, Jay. Yeah, we killed Rainer early.
Yeah. Well, that was.
Yeah,
Alright, so we just got a little live look in there. Final look in of the series, and ReGen Blue looked like they were down considerably in that fight and ended up swinging it around a little bit. Jason with some kills on the backside of that, and they're going to find themselves their 3rd Immortal of the game, it looks like. I don't think these respawns are going to be here in time, and Zulkin and Carve, unless they can pick off maybe the Li Ming, it's a really tough spot for them.
I don't think they will be able to, Murda, and feels bad, man. Garrosh getting the perfect engage. All you have to do there is throw the Tychus into the backline taunt, but not really sure what happened there. The toss hit the wrong person. Q didn't go out in the right order, and it looked like someone got thrown forward, so not what you're looking to do with the Garrosh there, in addition to the follow-up. So Li Ming getting free poke here, as we will see a full health Immortal going over to the side of ReGen Blue that will be pushing through that top lane.
Top lane, the only structure still standing for ReGen Red is here in this top lane. It's a keep, and it's already sitting at 30% health. Zulkin holding a bush, now sees ETC coming in his face. He's got to start backing up. Here's the power slide. Not hitting anything but the G-shield on the mosh pit. That's going to be 2 more kills for ReGen Blue. Now 17 in the game. They lose their ETC. Are going to lose Li Ming as well. This is Zulkin absolutely wrecking on this backline. Aperture finding another one as well. It's a triple kill for ReGen Red. About to make it 4 as Larson falls as well. And the defense is here. Mongoose even saying Lunara wrecking. What a defense for ReGen Red.
Post-game, late-game Lunara is an absolute menace. Even with that divine mosh pit executed well there, it wasn't enough. If Zulkin gets caught in that mosh pit, this game is lost. We do see the team, they probably will take some core damage here. Will this be enough? No way they lose the game here. I think they should be able to defend. They do have 1-2 katas pushing through that bot lane, but I think it will be enough. Zulkin is tanking those katas, preventing that damage, but with such low core health, Murda, all ReGen Blue has to do is backdoor and pretty much sneeze on that core to get that victory as minions continue to push in that top and bot lane.
Yeah, 26% is all that remains for ReGen Red. They've had a few good moments in this game, and what a bloodbath. 19 kills and 17 kills for these teams. Our most kills we've had in any of our games thus far tonight. And I'm loving seeing the action coming out, but let's look at ReGen Blue and where they are on the map right now. So, of course, ReGen Red doesn't know this, but they're in this bottom lane about to take away this Khazra camp. The minions are already pushing all the way up back where that keep used to be. And they could potentially be thinking about sneaking around this map somewhere if they find an avenue.
Absolutely. We do see ReGen Red also beginning to take that Bruiser camp in preparation for what I think, Murda, is most likely going to be the final Immortal of the game if no team decides to invade each other, right? 26 minutes in, this is almost a guaranteed Immortal. Right, a guaranteed win with an Immortal of this size, right? I think that regardless whichever team wins that team fight, they will end the game. They don't even have to wait for that Immortal with death timers being so high, level 22 and 23, right? ReGen Blue showing currently at the top, clearing out that mercenary camp as we see Lunara postured a little aggressively into that bush. Needs to be a little bit careful here. No vision. He could get slid by Mongoose there as the W gets pushed back. Zoltan surviving by using those jumps. A huge stun going out. The going out. That instant blow up. I mean, you see Ostiel going down too. The D-Shield's going out at 60 health. Larson taking so much damage from Lunara. Getting Ian a live arrow. Protecting that frontline. Ostiel with 500 health. Just barely staying alive as Arrow continues to push Jason with the poke. As ReGen Red baiting 200 IQ with that Lunara.
Oh, they gotta watch their core though. Who's heading back is gonna be Jaina. Another kill picked up as Malthiel's down. Is this enough defense? Is Jaina able to clear this? This is catapults coming in 2 different lanes, plus the shaman camp. I mean, anything on this core is gonna be really bad for ReGen Red. They're already down to 26%.
I think this will be enough with the Rainer going back and Jaina with her wave clear. We do see 3 against 2. We do need to be super careful though with Recycling taking an orb to the face there. The Lunara will be enough though to take this Immortal down. A full health 28-minute Immortal, and I think Red needs to be super careful here, Murda. They need to be careful. They need to watch for a backdoor, right? They have to be paying attention to their lanes. Jaina and Raynor have to push enough waves out to let this Immortal push through that top lane, which is where it will be going.
Yeah, I mean, this is by far the most exciting game we've had tonight. Now heading into the 29th, almost 30th minute of Battlefield of Eternity, and this is, I want to count number 5 for the objectives, the second for ReGen Red, and they're looking to get their first keep, but oh, Jaina down bottom. Abishur is in a lot of trouble. Jason giving chase, ice blocking.
Oh my god, the Jaina taken out. The Jaina taken out, Murda.
And now they're marching right at the core. There's vision being provided by this sidewall. Is ReGen Red going to be able to hearth in time? Here's one back, arrows here. Here's 2, Zulkin showing up. They have to make this defense with their Lunara, and it might just be a fake out. So Malthiel's going to be back to clear this Immortal, but it should get through this keep.
Lunara going absolutely crazy by herself. Not sure why Zulkin did that. Maybe trying to prevent the stun. The Rainer getting bodied there, but still surviving. Unstoppable going out. Malthiel doing work on that Immortal. Not really sure why they did that, Murda. I think they just needed to play safe. I think ReGen Red just gave up the loss, or the win, excuse me. With those 4 members down, ReGen Blue gets that win and takes game number 3. A big misplay. A big misplay in my opinion there. No reason for Lunara to go in. No reason for Jaina to get blown up before that fight, you know, happens, right? Really confused as to what happened there, but ReGen Blue coming out triumphant, 21 to 22 kills, a much closer game than everything we've seen in the series.
Well, I want to claps to all of our competitors tonight. A lot of fun, a Scrim series, and you know, last season you had ReGen Blue playing in Division B in the West, and then you had Division C East played by ReGen Red, and Big Brother Blue showing up tonight. 3 victories over ReGen Red. Let's see if we can hop in and maybe get a quick chat with some of these guys in the ReGen Blue lobby.
Let's do it.
Hi, Murda.
Dude.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
How goes?
So, what's been... Rag, I'm going to mute you in Skype, by the way.
Sure.
So what's been going on tonight? How'd you guys feel, and anything you got to take away from tonight's matches?
Salud.
Oh,
Hello, we're here.
hello? Oh,
Don't know
there it
where
is. Sorry.
there you go.
There it is. Sorry, my push-to-talk wasn't working for some reason. I was saying, anything you're taking away from tonight's match? How did it feel? Obviously 3-0, it looks good. You guys sounded good on the when we got to listen in.
Sorry for dropping a curse word on your stream. I was in a
My mouthfeel needs work. I learned that.
Lunara late game was super scary.
Yeah.
It was.
So it was invisible.
So what do you think of the last game? Let's talk about that. Obviously, we saw the Li Ming come in early for Jason's pick, and the Lunara, the selection for Zulkin. Was there anything that you thought we were going to get in that matchup for your team, or was it just we want the Li Ming for Battlefield of Eternity?
I think we should let Goose answer how that draft went.
That draft went not at all how we wanted, partially because we messed up on the first pick thing. But we were actually targeting like a Varian pick comp, but the Garrosh threw that all out the window, so the rest of that was on the fly.
Also, it helps if your support takes Tyrande when he's told to. Rather than
Yes, and it also helps when if Osteel locks in Tyrande when we tell him to, instead of the computer insta-locking Malthael.
Yeah, that didn't go too well.
Yeah, we were trying to figure out like why that pick did happen in that order, but I mean,
Yeah.
you made it work. That last game was significantly closer than the other two. I did really love your mosh pits there, Mongoose. Just really kind of punishing the team, and Uther Divine Bovine, which is what Murda and I were calling it, can work pretty damn well. As you guys
hold on. That shout out to Stixa. I actually see Stixa in chat right now, so that's copyright Stixa. He came up with Divine Bovine. I just borrow it because I like him.
We go with Holy Cow. That's all right.
Nice.
Holy Cow's good too.
Nice. I mean, I think I loved your drafts in game 1 and 2. A lot of focus on that wave clear. I'm happy to have seen the Stukov ban because that did seem like a problem in the first 2 games. So kudos to you, Osteel, for your play there. Really loved it. Thought that your silences were super on point. And I just really liked your comms as well, right? As we listened in, you guys were very nice, and you said hello. We couldn't respond back, but I thought your comms were incredibly well put together. It was clear to me what your direction was in the game and what you were really looking to accomplish. I like the fact that you were queuing up commands as well, and those are the things that generally lead teams to success and to being on the same page, right? Whether the decisions are right or not is not as important as the team being in sync throughout. So every single time that we listened into your comms, you guys were really on point. You kept it pretty lighthearted, right? There was conversation happening throughout, and that's super exciting to hear from a casting perspective. So kudos to you guys for that.
Yeah, it only took us 2 years to develop solid comms, so we're right on track to be pro.
Nice. You'll get there eventually.
We did give you guys a little bit of mention about how your comms were a little bit more vocal, a little more animated than our other team we got to listen into, and we were impressed. We thought it all worked out really well, and we could even hear the call out, hey, let's start looking for this Divine Mosh, let's get in there and try to hit it. And when it connected, there were a few that were pretty scary for the other team. So huge congratulations, and just that effort of coming together as a team so early.
Thanks, boys. Looking forward to watching it.
Absolutely. The only other question I have for you guys before I'm all set, tell me a little bit about the early Zagara in game number 2. Not something you typically see. But yeah, I'm interested in kind of hearing why you picked that in the 1-2.
They took my
wanted ABBA.
Got it.
They took my Abathur and they had to pay. Like,
I mean, that Abathur did pay at least twice. So point mission accomplished. It sounds like, but I mean that makes perfect sense. We were mentioning on cast that oftentimes you see a rotation go to try to take that Zagara down, but the only person that the enemy team had was really a gray main. So that kind of played in your favor, and I also really liked your Nidus placement and your awareness in team fights. So that worked out pretty well. You kind of bodied the solo lane and really got a lot of value from the very beginning. So kudos. I was not
Thank
a
you.
believer at first, but you proved me wrong.
Thank you.
Great of them to do that.
Nice. Any other questions you have, Murda, for our team?
I don't have questions. My question really is, how many victories are we getting this season, guys?
You saw him.
I
More
have
than
no-
last year.
more than last season. But having said that, I mean, we were scrimming pretty good before last season, and then we just turned into a dumpster fire in the regular season. So, you know,
Well,
who knows?
how many games are there in an inning?
It's got a base 8 plus however many teams are in the division, so it's going to be between 10 and 12, depending on how many teams in your division.
I guarantee you we will win between 0 and 8 games.
That's a true statement.
All right.
Setting
Well-
that bar nice and high.
Before we go, you guys have any shout-outs, or is that it?
Shout outs to Red, man. I was so stoked to see those guys put together a team and come back. I was saying in comms that our group, I mean, the four of Jay's on is Quotey Fingers new to our group, but he's been around and is a veteran. Grendel is new for us this season, but he played with us in our Chair League Championship season, so we've been together as a group a pretty long time, and I know those guys kind of just came together. I'm so happy to see ReGen Red back, and love those guys, and we're going to be pulling for them all season.
Yeah, I think those guys are all individually good players. It's just they need some time to gel and come together as a team.
Definitely, I agree. And hopefully tonight is a step in that direction for them, and looks like a step in the right direction for you guys. What a showing. 3-0 victory over ReGen Red, and we're only a couple weeks away from seeing the start of Season 6, and I can say myself and Rag are very excited to watch you guys play.
Sweet.
Thanks again, guys.
Absolutely.
All right,
All
well,
right.
Twitch chat, we're going to be heading out. I am Murda. Joining me today was Rag. You can find me over on Twitter at MurdaRG. Hit the follow button here as well. Rag, where can they find you?
And you guys can find me. You guys can find me over at twitch.tv/Ragnarok, 2 N's and 2 R's.
All right, so that's it. We will see all of you soon.
Murda, you're muted in Skype, I believe.
Yeah, I muted it there. Sorry. I left. Oh wait, am I muted? Oh, there it is. Oh,
There we go. Now
there
I
you
hear
go.
you.
So now you hear me? Okay. So we will see you all soon, very soon, as Nexus Gaming Series Season 6 kicks off in just a couple weeks, and I have all that action coming to you live here, twitch.tv/MurdaRG. See you guys soon, later, and goodbye.
Have a good night.